Laurie Huston's News for the Heart is dedicated to helping you give a voice to your own soul. Our hearts have the power to free us from pain and the struggles that keep us from awakening to our true essence. Join Laurie now as we delve into our heart and soul to find the path that will open us to the possibilities and lead us to the life we love to live.
And good afternoon. This is News for the Heart. Today I have my awesome guest, Tara Greene. I have Tara every New Year so that we can go over the astrology for the year. And this year is 2019. Yeah, I understand that there are a lot of people that are more excited about 2020, but you know, okay, so Laurie Huston, who is a medical intuitive, she says this is the year of claiming. I've heard divine alignment. And I'm wondering, you know, when they say the divine alignment, if it's between last year, which was more a divine feminine year, where 2020 is more a divine masculine year, whether it's the alignment and balance between that, or if there's something else that they're talking about. I don't know, but
yeah, I appreciate, you know, everybody's input. I mean, really, basically, you have to look at the numerology, and sometimes it's very symbolic. You know, I use the numerology with the symbols of the tarot, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, number 3, it's a trinity, which is essentially feminine. Okay. And, you know, like look at 2018, besides being the big year of retrogrades, where we, you know, karmically, you know, Chiron is still at those last degrees of Pisces. It's the end of a big 50-year cycle.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So that's a major thing. Chiron, the wounded healer, for those people who don't know what Chiron is, it's a body, a comet, whatever. I'm not sure how they classify it these days. It's a centaur. Wounded healer is a very powerful symbol discovered in November 1st, 1977. And it's at the last degrees of Pisces, which are considered to be the most karmic degrees. So for humanity, this is a big karmic cleanup. And Chiron is stationed, not stationed, it's right now squaring what they call the galactic center. So for me, this is a huge galactic, you know, you're clearing lifetimes and dimensions and whatnot until Chiron, you know, re-enters Aries and we start a brand new 50-year cycle. Okay, so the polarity, 2018, reduced to the number 2, which is a polarity. And you can see how polarized everything certainly is.
Everybody kind of made that 11, though, right? So they added right?
Yeah, I mean,
they did
people,
that.
That's
it's
fine.
the year of mastery, which it was a tough year.
Yeah,
I mean, for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was really tough.
I think it was more the retrogrades because they were kind of
more the
like boom, 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 boom.
There
but you just get one. Yeah, it was. It was, after it, I think everybody started naming it the year of retrogrades, but I hear that next year's not going to be any better. However.
Well, I mean, there's always retrogrades. We've got a list of them here. We'll tell you about that. But really, let's stick to this. So, okay, number 11, there's always the sub-influence. Like when you add up 2018, it's 11. So that's, you know, kind of the outer or the personality kind of year, but the essence or the soul or the, what you need to get is the reduced, the root number. So the number 2, 2018 was the year of the high priestess. So very much like the moon, very intuitive, very receptive, not moving forwards, receiving. Okay, so number 3, 2019 is the year of the Empress. So again, another very big divine feminine year. She's Venus. She is the goddess of love, of beauty, of harmony, of the arts, of relationships. She's always shown as a pregnant woman. She's Mother Nature. So very much we have to pay attention to the environment, to the earth, Mother Nature, about women, women's rights, children, protecting the children, a lot of stuff around, you know, all that child slavery and sex slavery and all that stuff is going to come up even more. So it's about what are you birthing? What are you nurturing? What are you pregnant with? At this point. So the number 3 being a trinity kind of brings you to a point where you can see another point of view. You're not in opposition. It's like, how can we agree? Or how can we get to the middle path or the middle way?
That could be the alignment as well.
The middle path.
You know,
And if you look at, you know, the tree of life, it's always the middle path is the strongest, the most focused way to go. So balancing the opposites into a third. So it's a union. Right? It's a unity. You know, like if you're in a relationship, those two people become one. So there is that unity consciousness there too.
Nice.
Yeah. So the number 3, the triangle.
It's
the strongest form too.
Right? Yes, definitely.
Okay, so that's good. Now, the outside, the other influence on this is it's a number 12 year. If you want to talk about those larger numbers. So the number 12 is a sub-influence in 2019, is called the Hangman in the tarot. So I don't want you to think it's about being hung up, or it is about being hung up, but not being hung by the neck. If you know the symbols of the tarot, the Hangman, he's hanging upside down. It's the god Odin from the Nordic myths, hanging upside down from the world tree. So in the mythology, in the Nordic mythology, Odin, one of his tasks to gain enlightenment was that he hung himself upside down from this tree with his
different perspective.
Different perspective, exactly. And also it's about getting your consciousness from the earth.
Oh.
So it's about the way you think it normally is going to be reversed. So there is going to be a lot of shocking revelations, things that we never thought were happening, is really things are totally ass different.
Right.
Okay. But don't get hung up. The other thing about the Hangman is it's kind of like being a martyr. So you have to know when to let go. It's about knowing when to surrender. It's like, okay, I give it up to God. I give it up to the universe. I don't know everything. I think that's a good thing to do too.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So knowing when to let go.
Right.
Okay. So I think it's good. I mean, it is, the number 4, 2020, having 2020 vision, it's very funny actually. The number 4 is the Emperor. So then we're going to go into a new foundation year. It's the King. It's Aries energy. So, but there's big alignments happening in 2020. So that's what the astrologers are all kind of going, hey, we want to get right there.
Yeah.
But we can't. We have to go through 2019 and get all those experiences in. So that's good.
Yes.
All right. So speaking of retrogrades, I have a list here of Mercury retrograde periods on March the 5th.
And that's like, we just ended the last one, which is, I believe, Uranus, right? It ended on the 5th?
Yes.
Or?
Yes, it just ended.
So we have nothing until March.
Right now. Yes. All clear. All systems go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm on Twitter a lot. There's a big astrology thing happening on Twitter, and somebody went, nothing is retrograde right now. And I went, yes. And that's very rare. I remember when I was
especially for like almost 3 months.
Yeah. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I remember looking, because I knew when she was expected, and I remember looking, oh my God, there's only like a few days in there when she can be born with no retrograde planets. And she was.
Nice.
So, technically it means if you're born with retrograde planets, it means you have karma.
Yeah.
That you're repeating.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
So Mercury retrograde. So you were all free to go systems till March the 5th, when Mercury turns retrograde at 29 degrees Pisces. Again, that's a very karmic. That's the last degree in the zodiac. All planets, when they hit the 29th or the 30th degree, it's like it's critical. You got to get all the lessons. So we're going to go back and kind of sweep through emotionally. Again, compassion, letting go. And then March 28th, Mercury stations direct at 16 Pisces, which is probably conjunct Neptune. So you may be feeling like you're coming out of a bit of a fog, or get some big spiritual insights at that point. On July the 7th, Mercury stations retrograde at 4 degrees Leo, and then it turns direct again July 31st at 23 degrees Cancer. On Halloween, Mercury turns retrograde
in Scorpio.
In Scorpio at 27 degrees Scorpio. So that's going to be a deep, dark, hey, let's go back and revisit all that Scorpio stuff there.
Right.
Into the real dark. And then on November 20th, Mercury stations direct at 11 degrees of Scorpio. So those are all in water signs. So you gotta, I'm really looking at, look at the elements. I think there's a lot for people who don't really know astrology. Just look at the elements and you can just glean a lot from that. So it's interesting.
And yes, it does start in Leo, but it goes back because it's only 4 degrees. It goes to Cancer pretty quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's going to be that big eclipse, which we're going to talk about, the big super blood moon eclipse. Actually, it's at 0 Leo. So Mercury. So when planets turn around, they kind of activate those degrees again. So whatever, and we'll talk about the eclipse in a minute, July the 7th would be a day when it might kind of trigger things kind of really coming out then. Okay. The planet Jupiter moves retrograde April the 10th at 24 degrees Sag. Now for all you Sagittarians, this is your year. So make big headway if you have planets in Sagittarius. Also, Jupiter is giving you bountiful blessings. Thank you, Jupiter. I'm a double Sagittarius. So, travel, higher education, optimism, humor. This is a year to lighten up.
Nice.
I mean, in general, it's a lighter year. We need that break. So Jupiter and Sag. Okay. And that's close to what they call the galactic center. So I really do use the galactic center a lot at 27 Sagittarius. Very powerful big black hole at the center of our galaxy. You can download all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I see. you see you have a scarf that has little things
Oh,
that
is
are,
that what she's
and
after?
she, because you're moving around a lot.
Okay, she thinks I'm playing with her. Okay,
A little bit.
Laurie has a gorgeous cat here. It's like a giant puffball. Anyway,
It's amazing that she only weighs 8 pounds or seven and a half,
she
8
looks
pounds.
like she's twice as big. Okay, she's like a big cloud. A cloud cat. Okay, so humor. Yes, lighten up. We need to laugh more this year. Okay,
Nice.
so Jupiter's going to be retrograde from April 10th to August the 11th. That's 4 months. Stations direct at 14 degrees Sagittarius. And I just want to mention that because right now there is these big galactic things, and I tend to be doing this, kind of getting into these more galactic, way out there things. There's something called the Great Attractor, and people talk about the law of attraction. Now, the Great Attractor is some actually unknown cosmic something at 14 degrees Sagittarius, where Jupiter is kind of inching up to right now. So it's interesting. It just sort of triggers me that Jupiter stations direct right on that galactic, the Great Attractor. So the Great Attractor is kind of like attracting, moving everything, all the galaxies, the super clusters. It bends time, it bends light. So you can sort of see up ahead. So it's kind of prophetic. And I keep thinking, well, if you tune into Jupiter on the Great Attractor, there's a time to really attract what you want, you know. And Jupiter's the big benefic, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then Jupiter will enter Capricorn on December the 2nd. So it's really basically almost 11 months of Jupiter and Sag.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we had it. I mean, it went
early. It's at the
it
end of
was in November,
2018.
right?
But,
Yeah.
and it lasts about a year. So, you know, the Chinese system of the zodiac is related to the cycles of Jupiter, basically, because Jupiter takes about a year to move through every sign, right? So Capricorns, it's your big year next year, 2020, right? Of course. Now, Saturn, the big leaden karmic planet, but it's where you sign on the dotted line and it's where you build. Saturn is the builder, goes retrograde April 29th at 20 degrees Capricorn. That's right on Pluto, pretty much.
Oh.
Pluto's at 20, pretty much. So that's a very powerful, you want to mark that date down, Saturn, Pluto. That's pretty intense. Now, that's basically what everybody's kind of all hoo-hawing about 2020 is about that. And Jupiter, because it's intense and it's not light. It's not light. Can't make light of that one. Sorry. September 18th, Saturn will station direct at 13 Capricorn. Okay. Now, the planet Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius, the planet of higher consciousness, the planet of invention and revolution, stations direct, just already did, January 6th, and then it will enter Taurus. Now, this is the big mini age, Uranus entering Taurus finally until 2025. This is going to be the big shift, okay?
Nice.
So, you know, Taurus, nice? Well, prepare for chaos.
Oh, because
prepare
it's
for
Taurus?
big change. No, because it's Uranus.
Okay.
And Uranus is tied to all big technological revolutions. It's tied to invention. It's tied to the internet. It's tied to AI, cryptocurrencies.
You know, think we're going to see some big things happen?
Yeah. So definitely, we're moving into.
So could be bad, could be good.
Well, it's always
it
always can be both.
Yeah.
But I really feel like there's going to be a bit of a split because we're so dependent on the technology.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, the cell phones. And that's Uranian. When Uranus entered Aquarius, the sign it rules, that's when the internet started.
Is that right?
Absolutely. So Uranus is now kind of becoming earthy or becoming part of our everyday values or our tools. So it's really getting integrated. So there's lots of people that want to be microchipped. And there's a lot of people that want to be robotic,
Oh, goodness.
I mean, there is. There is people that are into that. Oh,
they
absolutely.
Want to?
They want that. Yeah, they think I'm going to just download my consciousness into a robot so I can be eternal. There are lots of people like that.
Okay.
What?
I mean, we see movies on it and stuff, but can it really be their consciousness? Like, can it really? I mean, it's not their soul that's being downloaded.
No.
It's their,
their mind.
Right.
So it's that.
So
split.
what does that do? I mean, obviously that's a different show, but
okay.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
But what would that do? Okay.
It's kind of an illusion. It's an ego illusion that you're only your consciousness. See, it's very scientific, and that's Uranus. Well, scientific convention. So, all the kids, think about it. All the millennials, they grew up with cell phones. They don't know anything else.
No, I know.
And so everything is Google it. And
Taurus is kind of although very kind of sexy planet, it's also very
earthy
and
practical, sensuous. It's real. It's what you can hold on to. See,
I was going to say stubborn.
It is stubborn, of course. Of course, it's stubborn. But Uranus is about free-flowing information and virtual reality, whereas Taurus is no. That's I got to have my hands on it, or it doesn't exist. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are going to go, no, we don't want all that technology. Right. We want old-fashioned.
Well, I don't want old-fashioned, but I don't think I want to be an AI.
Right. No. But I think people are going to start appreciating, because Taurus is about things that you make with your hands and kind of sensuosity and real and physical and, crafty and, things like that. So that's what I'm saying, kind of old-fashioned, right? Right. So that's, but anyway, money, real estate, all that, total change.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's all going to be AI. It's all going to be cryptocurrency. But again, there's going to be people that are going to be stashing gold under their mattress or whatever. But
there's always food, those, right?
Food. Taurus, it's like I'm going to pile up enough food because when the world goes haywire, at least I can eat, and in my comfy little whatever. But anyway, it'll be interesting. I mean, definitely big changes, big technological changes. And also the best thing about Uranus and Taurus is using the technology to heal the earth. Right. Because there is that. Okay?
Right. Now, well, that's nice.
Okay. So August the 11th, Uranus goes retrograde at 6 degrees Taurus. Okay.
And I'm seeing that since there's not a direct, it goes into the new year.
Yeah, it's going to be there till the end of the year. Okay, unless I missed something. Okay. Neptune, the planet of higher love, a planet of unconditional love, the spirituality of creativity, of dreamers, goes retrograde June 21st at 18 Pisces.
Now, the outer planets, we really only see the effect for a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after. Like, it's not the same as...
No, it's not the same. I mean, all the inner, what they call inner or personal planets, you'll feel more personally. Transpersonal planets move more slowly and affect the collective. But if it's affecting you personally, like, for example, if you have something at 18 Pisces and Neptune hits it, then you're going to go back and revisit or redo while the retrograde is happening, right? Okay. So Neptune stations direct at 15 Pisces. So Neptune moves very slowly in the year, right? Okay. And then Pluto, the planet of power, the plutocracy, the soul, the unconscious, the shadows, goes retrograde April 24th at 23 Capricorn. And it takes till October 13th till it stations direct at 20 Capricorn.
October 3rd,
Sorry, October 3rd. Thank you. At 20 Capricorn. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, eclipses. Okay, let's get to the eclipses here. All right. So we just had... Hang on a second.
Okay. Is it on here? Do you want me to scroll?
No, I've got it on here. That's okay. Eclipses. So we just had that nice super Saturn stellium. A stellium is when all the planets are in one sign. Solar eclipse in Capricorn. And so my sense is I feel still kind of eclipsed because of Saturn, ruled the eclipse. Kind of it takes you slower, longer to integrate it, right? But it's still powerful. Now everybody's going, super blood moon, wolf moon, the big solar eclipse happening on January the 20th, 21st, because it will be visible over America.
Isn't that a lunar eclipse?
Sorry, lunar eclipse. Sorry.
Okay.
It will be visible over America. Thank you.
And I'll be in Paris.
And you'll be in Paris. Well, then you avoid it, actually.
Oh, is that good?
Yes, you're out of it. You should look at the world map. But no, the big solar eclipse that happened August 17th, 2017, because it was visible right over America.
Right.
The place where the eclipse is fully visible gets hit the most.
Oh, interesting.
So America's now going through another round of this, right?
Okay.
Okay. So that one is at 0 degrees Leo. 0 Leo. Okay.
Right.
So, 0 Leo, brand new beginning in terms of everything that's Leo, the king, the queen, sovereignty, power. It rules the heart. It's willpower. So leadership, kind of daring, courage, all of that stuff, right? So if you have planets at 0 degrees or even late degrees of Cancer, early degrees Leo, and then all of the fixed, what they call fixed signs, Leo is a fixed sign. So Taurus, early Leo, early Scorpio, early Aquarius, you're going to get hit directly by that eclipse. And the eclipses repeat every 18 years, 11 days, 8 hours. I finally memorized that. And so you want to look back at where was I 18 years ago? The last 18 years ago. Okay. Because you're finishing a new cycle, you're starting a new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And an eclipse has effects lasting about 6 to 9 months. Okay. All right. Now, the other eclipses that are happening, July the 12th, there's a total lunar eclipse at 24 degrees Cancer. So again, that's for everybody that's born late Cancer. You're going to feel that one. A lunar eclipse is more subtle. It's more emotional. It's more unconscious. I think there's a minor eclipse in there. I'm not really dealing with that one. December 25th, Christmas, there's a solar eclipse at 4 degrees of Capricorn. So again, early Capricorn people, anybody who's, again, early Aries or early Cancer, early Libra gets hit with that one. Okay. And every year there's 4 to 5 eclipses, right? Okay. Right. There's a blue moon, a supermoon on February 19th, actually. Supermoon March 21st. There's a blue moon May the 18th. Okay. All right. Now, but the basic, I mean, I've got a list here of all the aspects. Do we have time to go through all this?
Just go through things that you think are important.
All right.
What are we doing for time?
How are we doing for time here? Okay.
We've got lots of time. We've got like 40 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay. So, beginning of the year, Sun conjunct Saturn just happened. So again, that's a serious day. It's a good day to start new cycles. You know, Saturn, it moves so slow. It takes 28 to 29 years to touch something. I mean, that's an annual one. So now the Sun, January the 11th, that's coming up. Sun conjunct Pluto. Now this is on for Greenwich Mean Time here. So Sun conjunct Pluto could be the next day or earlier, actually, if you're in Pacific time. Sun conjunct Pluto is a powerful day. You know what I mean? So you want to make long-term plans. You know, it's Pluto in Capricorn, business, career. You know, Mars squares Saturn on January the 21st. Now that's a tough one. Anytime, these are two what they call malefics, difficult planets. It's a red letter day. I've got these things highlighted here. You just want to be careful, okay? Because people can be violent, people can be angry, there can be
that kind of corresponds with the eclipse though too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And Venus is going to square Neptune also on that eclipse.
Oh,
okay. Right. Okay. So again, that's very romantic, very idealistic. You have to be careful with Neptune though, because Neptune is the planet of illusion and delusion and addictions. Okay, so you could fall in love with love very.
This one.
Huh?
I prefer the next day.
And Venus conjunct Jupiter. Yeah, so that's happening on just after the eclipse. So it's part of that, and that's close to your birthday there. Yeah, so that's closer. A very positive Venus conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius.
Look, Mercury enters on my birthday.
Yeah, there you go. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Sag, I think, on that great attractor. So really, that would be a super powerful day to do some major ceremonies and really call in love and wealth and joy and happiness and all that stuff, right? Okay. February the 2nd, Mars squares Pluto. Okay, anytime we get these two heavy planets, Mars and Pluto, both rule Scorpio.
Right.
You want to watch out for that one. And squares are hard aspects, right? Okay. Now, Mars conjunct Saturn. That's a toughie too. That's on February the 13th. Oh, just before Valentine's Day. All right. But it could be good to make, if you use it very carefully, long-term plans. It's like, I got to go get this. You know, I'm going to sign on the dotted line. Let's get married. You know, that could be a very positive aspect of Mars conjunct Saturn, or sign a business deal, or, you know, things like that. Now, the big transit this year is Jupiter square Neptune, and that starts on February the 13th as well. So again, interesting that it's like around Valentine's Day, because Neptune is like the most Valentine of all the planets, I would say, and Jupiter just amps that up. So that could be a very, very super romantic day, you know, for sure. And idealistic and creative and all that stuff, right? So that's a beautiful thing. Okay. But the thing about Jupiter is, because it exacerbates whatever's happening, if you have addictions, if you have debt, you have to be very careful of this, or you're projecting what you want to see onto things, you have to be very careful, because it could be a big loss. Okay. All right. Now, again, serious relationship stuff here. February the 18th, Venus conjunct Saturn. That's like, yeah, okay. Let's go for this. Okay. I'm getting serious here. Again, Capricorn stuff there. Okay. So it's good for Capricorns, you know, that's good. Okay. Now, Venus conjuncts Pluto on the 23rd. So it's like within a few days, Venus is making these very serious contacts there. You know, it's good to take the plunge into the underworld. Venus conjunct Pluto. It's kind of like, you know, Persephone's journey there. You may have to go do some big shadow work, or really, which can be good, you know, and you may be seeing that through the other person that you're with. Okay. Now, again, Uranus entering Taurus there on March the 6th, the big new start, big new era starting there. March the 7th, the Sun conjuncts Neptune. So that's really a very spiritual day. If you'd like to do something in alignment with something very spiritual and uplifting, or start doing yoga, you know, anything like that. Again, in love with love, very creative. That's a good day to do that. on March the 14th, Sun squares Jupiter. Again, these are expansive energies. You know, when the Sun is squaring Jupiter, you want to make things happen. So the doors start to open, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, on March the 21st, Venus square Mars. So, you know, here we go. Venus and square Mars, when the two lovers are kind of teasing each other there, that's a very romantic day as well. And that's the spring equinox, actually happens the day before.
Oh.
So on the spring equinox, Venus square Mars can be some friction, of course, between the sexes, but can be very exciting too. Okay.
Right.
Mercury conjuncts Neptune on March 24th. So that's, again, good for creativity. Venus conjunct Neptune. Okay. That's April the 10th. So again, this is the most idealistic, romantic day of the year. Venus conjunct Neptune. That's really good. They're great for Pisces, great for all mutable signs. That's Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Okay, but the next day, or on the same day, the Sun squares Saturn. So you got to be sure. I mean, that's good. I think it keeps you grounded then. You're not in total la-la land. I think that's good. Okay. So then also on the April the 13th, the Sun squares Pluto. That's a big power day. So you would look at, you know, what's going on politically, big banking. Pluto rules wealth, right? So if you're following your soul's path, Pluto will bring you riches. Okay, its name means riches, actually. Okay, so a crazy day to watch out for, April the 22nd, Sun conjuncts Uranus, but you can download, whoa, big insights. A big light bulb goes on. The Sun is the big light bulb. This is the day to get it. You know, I see it, okay? I see clearly now. So that's a nice day for that. April 27th, Mars squares Neptune. Again, Mars is the energy, so Mars is pushing you to create your dream, act on your dream, make your dream happen, okay? Then, let's see, on 5/5, so that's May the 5th, Mars quincunxes Pluto. So when planets are at 150-degree angles to each other, they literally can't see each other. And again, because Mars and Pluto rule Scorpio, that can be a day where you just don't see it coming, and it just kind of comes up from behind you. So, you know, kind of watch out for a shadow kind of aspect coming out of the blue, or there could be some major aspects in terms of, again, government, world politics, stuff like that happens. And on the same day, Mars opposite Jupiter. So again, Mars opposite Jupiter, you know, because Mars will be in Gemini there, it's good for ideas, for partnerships, for, again, planning travel, higher education, all that stuff, you know. Okay, so May the 7th, Venus squares Saturn. Again, this is where you get serious about your values. Women make big strides in the world. There's going to be a lot of, you know, well, Jupiter's in Sag is a lot of legal stuff. Jupiter in Sag rules justice, rules politics. You know, we can see all those women just entering in the States, you know, so women will make big headways. Lots of big legal issues happening, more fairness, protection, all that stuff. So May the 9th, Venus squares Pluto. Again, this is super wealth. So again, it might be a good day to invest or to receive, you know, a lot of abundance in your life at that point. That's a good one. All right. Now, so May the 18th, Venus conjuncts Uranus. So this is like, I fell in love with somebody who's totally some alien, some weird person, or I've got some new idea or some new something that's totally out of the box. It's good to launch any kind of a high-tech startup networking, all that stuff on that days, you know, have a wacky party, celebrate being an Aquarius. Okay. June the 10th, Sun opposite Jupiter. That's one of the best days of the year, because whenever the Sun, which is gold, aligns with Jupiter, which is tin actually, but it's like gold, you know what I mean? That's a good one. So it's a good, nice balancing there.
Even though it's opposite.
Yeah, well, oppositions are, you know, you can work them as long as you pay attention to what, you know, the Sun's in Gemini. So there is that sense of duality, you know, like seeing both sides. It can be great for communicating. You know, you want to launch something in terms of publishing. Jupiter rules publishing. That would be a good day to do it. June the 13th, Sun in conjunct or quincunx Pluto. So again, there's like unseen things coming up here that you weren't expecting. More, you know, it's more in the world news, I would say. June the 14th, Mars opposite Saturn. Again, these are the two heavy planets here. You know, Mars is in Cancer, so he's kind of the stay-at-home husband here. Saturn's out there in Capricorn, so it could be a big shift with the patriarchy.
Okay.
You know, a big, you know, and it's about the divine masculine, so maybe a nice aspect of 2020 could be that. A reinvention of the divine masculine. That would be really nice. Okay.
That would be.
Yeah, so 6-6, the second conjunction of Jupiter square Neptune. So again, that's a second. There's 3 squares between Jupiter and Neptune. So, whatever you start in the first one, the second one gives you a chance to reintegrate that. Jupiter is probably retrograde at that point. Okay.
Is it the 6th though, or the 16th? Just because even though
yes, it is 16.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you. You got better eyes than me. Thank you.
It doesn't
Yes,
have
you're
it there.
right.
It's just
Okay.
that all the other numbers. Because I'm
You're
looking
right.
6-6. That was up
you're right.
here.
Sorry, you're right. Thank you, Laurie.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm still under this bloody Neptune transit that's gone on forever, to tell you the truth. I can't wait till it's over. Okay. So 6/20, June 20th, Mars opposite Pluto. Again, that's one of those big red letter. Maybe just stay in your house. Don't go out that day.
Okay.
It could be violent. Could be really crazy.
And that's really close to the solar, or the...
Sun enters Cancer the next day. So that's kind of indicates, Mars in Cancer, again, action is for women. So there could be a, opposition, the old plutocracies opposing that, but it also gives the women the power to push things through. Okay. Yes. Summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere starts June 21st. And at the same time, a couple days later, so that's partly involved in that equinox chart, the solstice chart, Venus opposite Jupiter on June 23rd. I'll get it together here. Okay. Venus opposite Jupiter. Again, big love, big travels, plan to publish a book, give a big speech, call in all your favors, Venus opposite Jupiter. That's a nice one. Everybody's going to love those Geminis and Sagittarius. Okay. So July the 9th, Sun opposite Saturn. Again, that's a heavy day. It's a day to kind of sign on the dotted line. Could be good for a marriage. I know, people do choose wedding dates, and Sun opposite Saturn is like, this is going to last. Okay. So even though it's heavy, it's good. It's a karmic day. All right. So July the 11th, Mars square Uranus. Again, kind of wacky, crazy, revolutionary. That's what you may hear in the news. And then a few days later, July the 14th, Sun opposed Pluto. So again, power struggles coming up there. Seems to be a lot of red letter days here.
I know.
This, right? I just want to give you the alert. Okay, so July the 17th. I'm not a doom and gloomer, but I Venus opposite Saturn. Again, it's good to get married. Good to take things seriously. Good
because of Saturn.
Yeah, good to get a raise. Good to start a new job. Good to start a new career plan. All that stuff. Okay, then July the 18th, Venus trine Neptune. So trines are nice, positive aspects. You have to work them. So, that's a nice one. It's very romantic and idealistic. Okay. July the 21st, though, Venus opposite Pluto. Again, this is big, richy, wealth day. So Venus in Cancer. So again, this is women's rights, I would say, pushing through the old plutocracy. I think that's really going to be a big thing around that time. Okay. Mercury conjuncts Venus on July the 25th. That's a nice one. Talk about love. Write a song about love, write some poetry, talk to your beloved. That's really a nice one. July 29th, Sun square Uranus. So again, these squares with Uranus are chaotic energy. You got to be careful. And then Venus square Uranus is in there too. I think there's a mistake on there. It should be 8. I don't know what that is there.
So it would be the 2nd.
Oh, it's August the 2nd. Okay, Venus square Uranus. Sorry. Venus square Uranus. Okay. Again, love outside the box. It's freedom it's liberation for women, for children. Okay, anything like that. Okay. Now, August 24th, Venus conjunct Mars. So that's one of the sexiest days of the year. You want to plan some romantic holiday, cruise, whatever, something like that would be nice. And then we're on September the 2nd there, Sun conjunct Mars. That's in Virgo. So again, that's a big action day, right? So good for Virgos, but it can also indicate you have trouble with your digestion. Okay. But it would be good to start a new job. Virgo rules work, start a new discipline in terms of your health, all that stuff. On the same day, Venus squares Jupiter. So again, this is an expansion. So, this could be good that you could follow through on what you do, and it could be fun. It doesn't have to be like hard work. Okay. Nice. On September the 4th, Venus opposite Neptune. Again, very romantic, idealistic. I don't want to go through all of these. There's too many of them. Okay. So September the 12th, Mars square Jupiter, Mercury conjuncts Venus on September the 13th, Mars opposite Neptune, September the 14th. And these are, good, positive energies there. The third conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune happens on September the 21st. So that's when you'll finish up what you started in the spring. Okay. So this is very expansive and idealistic. It can really affect politics. There can be some, again, all this year, revelations of hidden things. Neptune rules Pisces, which is hidden things, 12th house things. Jupiter's truth and justice. So there's going to be new laws enacted. Again, I think laws about all this addiction stuff, all that horrible opioid crisis. Finally, I think the drug companies should get sued. They're actually responsible for all those deaths. Like Monsanto is finally getting sued now for causing cancer and stuff like that. That's nice. Okay.
I mean, not nice
not
nice,
happen, but nice. Yes.
It's finally getting addressed.
September 25th, Venus square Saturn. Again, you could meet somebody, you can fall in love, you know, it can be very romantic. On October the 1st, Venus squares Pluto. Again, big wealth day. Can be a big change in the money markets. Again, I'm predicting cryptocurrencies. We talked about that a little bit. On October the 7th, Sun squares Saturn, kind of a serious day. Get down to business. We're thinking about the fall already of this year. Okay, October the 14th, Sun squares Pluto. Again, big wealth day. October 27th, Mars squares Saturn. These are heavy testing days, karmic days. So it can be good days to release. Mars squares Pluto. That's one of the heaviest there on October the 5th. So again, November the 5th. Thank you. Mars squares Pluto. Again, heavy. We're into Libra territory there. Okay, so Mars squares Pluto. Again, can be old karmic stuff coming up with those. It can be enemies, hidden enemies. Got to watch out for that. Okay. On November the 14th, Venus squares Neptune. Again, lots of romantic days, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then one of the best days of the year for love, for travel, for doing what you love, Sagittarians. Venus conjunct Jupiter. That's November the 24th. So if that's your birthday, take a big trip, like Laurie's doing. Actually, it's something called astrocartography, and traditionally on your solar return, not necessarily your birthday, but the day that the sun returns to where it was when you're born, which can be the day before, it's ideal to pick out where's the best place to be in the world, because that is a birth chart for your whole next year.
Right.
Okay, should we tell people where you're going to be? Not necessarily.
I already said.
Oh, you did? Okay, so Laurie's going to be in romantic Paris, and that's really nice, and it totally changes her
Not
chart.
on November 24th.
No, not on
my birthday.
On her solar return. Thank you. Okay, so again, Mars opposite Uranus on that same day, November 24th. So again, unusual, unexpected, chaos, and, you know, higher consciousness. I like that one too. Okay. Now, Sun squares Neptune on December the 8th. Venus conjunct Saturn on December the 11th. Again, good day to get married, sign a contract, you know, get more money. Venus conjuncts Pluto on December the 13th. So that's, again, big wealth, big money. There could be big financial issues. Women in power, you know, big deal there too. December 15th, Jupiter trine Uranus. Again, very creative. Groups, people grouping together to get crowdfunding. You know, I think people are realizing this now. You know, some guy raised millions of dollars already to build that crazy wall in the States. You know, whatever it is you want to do, it's the tools. That's Uranian energy. You see, that's also Uranus and Taurus. It's in the hands of the people. We can use, you know, we want to clean up the earth, forget the government. We're just going to get enough people together. We're going to do it ourselves. So it's very liberating, actually. Okay, now, December 27th, the Sun conjuncts Jupiter. Sun conjunct Jupiter is always one of the best days of the year. Right. December 27th, so that's really great for Capricorns there. And there, I think we're at the end of the year. All right. Okay. Well, that's a lot. I hope you wrote that down. Okay.
Well, you can re-listen to it or you can rewatch.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to be a good year. You know, I really think it is. Like I said, most of the astrologers are totally ignoring 2019. It's very
they
funny.
Are, eh?
Yeah. It's like we just want to do with 2020 because a big new alignment starts in 2020, a 20-year cycle. And, you know,
what?
The major planets, Jupiter and Saturn, they meet every 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. It's called a great alignment. So, you know, 20 years was traditionally a generation.
Okay.
So the last one was in May 2000, you know, which is like Y2K. So think about it. That was the beginning of the millennium. And it was in early Taurus, interestingly enough, which Uranus is going to hit then, now that I think about it, in 2019.
Okay.
Okay. So the next alignment is at 0 Aquarius. So some people are going, oh, is this the age of Aquarius starting here? So again,
wow, we're still asking that question.
Still asking that question. Well, you know, there's different theories because nobody knows exactly when it begins, right? So,
or if it already has, or if it hasn't.
Well,
or,
technically, it has to do with the stars, you know, where they're moving and how they're aligning the constellations, right? Okay. So, all right. So let's do some tarot cards.
Yes,
for each sign. Okay. Now, you know, I've been doing this every month. I do this for the
about 20
Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Okay. All right. So let me just, I'm using my special crystal here, guys. So I'm just going to really tune myself up here. This is what I do. I align my chakras. I
Nice.
call in my higher self. I think about all you Aries people. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention when I was looking through all those alignments of planets, Mars and Venus are very close to each other all
I noticed
year.
that. I noticed
You
that.
notice that?
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to happen that often. Like they're in
Hmm.
Mercury, so they're almost all aligned for a bunch of months of the year. So that's kind of a nice symbol of the masculine and feminine being kind of
Well,
together.
maybe that's the alignment too. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows?
Okay. Well,
I'm not exactly sure what they're saying about the alignment, so it's
Yeah, I mean, different people are channeling different things, of
Exactly.
course. You know, like I said, because it's Jupiter is the big mover this year, big
Right.
planet. It's in its home sign. Saturn's in its home sign. Neptune in its home sign.
Oh,
so
that's
all of those
interesting.
all those planets are extremely powerful because they're at home. It's like how you feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just kicking back here. I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, you know. So this is the year of Sagittarius energy, which is optimistic.
Keep putting my arm on this and moving my mic.
Oh, okay. All right. So Aries, let's see what Aries got here. Okay. So Aries, I've got my big old Thoth Tarot deck here and I'm going to pick one card here for Aries.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think last year you forgot them.
I think I did. I'm doing much better this year. Okay. All right. So here we have the number 9. This is a major arcana. If you're familiar with the tarot, there are 22 major arcana in the tarot out of 78 cards, although I have an extra special card in this deck. So the fact that Aries gets a major arcana is powerful. So the beginning, Aries, Mars, action for everybody. So if you know your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, which most people do these days, you want to look at if I have planets in Aries, how is the Hermit? That's the number 9. What do I have to learn from the Hermit? Okay, now the Hermit is like Virgo. So for Aries, I would say right off the bat, it's all about focusing on work and on being of service. You know, in your solar, it's your solar 6th house, work, service, health, discipline. It's earth. You need to get grounded, Aries. Okay. So the Hermit, you already have all the answers deep within, but Aries are usually too busy and too out there and too going and initiating to stop and listen.
Right.
So this is where you really need to listen. The Hermit is a really beautiful symbol. It's usually showed, I mean, this is a non-traditional deck, but it's usually shown as an old man in a profile holding up the light. And the light is a really beautiful guidance. So if you start to feel lost, you just have to think about, I can go within, I already have all the answers. Okay.
Right.
And then you have to work it. You know, you have to be a little bit patient. A little bit
Yes.
disciplined. So health might be an issue this year. Virgo rules the upper intestines, your upper digestion, you know. And am I doing the work that I really want to do? You know, so this can be quite a maturing year for you, Aries. Okay. All right. Okay. So next, let's think about Taurus here. Now, all Taurians who are very, what they call fixed signs and earthy. It's the sign where spirit enters the body, Taurus. It has to do with tools and resources. You know, for all of you, your change has got to be your new normal. Okay. Now, and actually, there you go. You've gotten the death card.
Oof. Another major.
Another major arcana. So this is really interesting. Okay, so
let's change.
Taurus, it's all about change. Nobody's going to die. The death card is really good. It's about letting go. You know, let go of your stuff. I know you love your stuff. You can be hoarders, but you have to let it go to make way for something new. You know, it can be a little bit too much in your comfy zone. That's what Taurus likes. But, you know, take some risks. I know you're going to be scared to death.
Especially Taurus, right?
But you know, it'll be really amazing. You've got a whole 7-year journey ahead of you to integrate, to be leaders, to be thought leaders, you know, like that's your main energy, to be inventive and pioneering, even if it's very Taurus, like hands-on and something that you help people to get more connected and more grounded. Okay. Yes. So that's good. So be willing to let go. Okay. That's good. If you hold on, actually, this is the only thing, if you hold on,
right,
it gets more painful. So it's inevitable. Change is inevitable. Just the name of the game. Okay. All right. So Geminis. Okay. Now, so for Geminis this year, Jupiter is opposite your sign. And so it can further exacerbate that, you know, I'm here, I'm there, I'm black or white. What the hell do I do? Make you more non-committal.
Oh, no.
But, you know, it would be a good year for you to expand. Jupiter's always expansive. Your ideas and, you know, partnerships. You know, Gemini's all about partnerships. Okay. Yes. So let's see. All right. Now, so Geminis, you've got the ace of discs here. So the discs are earth or coins. And so an ace is always a new beginning. So this is a pure potential.
Nice.
Okay. So it's just at the ideas level, which suits Geminis. It's all about the ideas. Okay. But you need to bring it into manifestation.
Right.
Okay. You got to make something happen and use Jupiter. You know, Jupiter is the great benefactor. So Jupiter, you know, travel, go back to school, you know, get the word out there. You know what I mean? Like just do it, you know, don't just think about it. Don't dither about it forever. Okay. So Cancer. All right. So Cancers. Okay. With Saturn opposite your sign, Cancer, you may be feeling a bit heavy. There's a lot of responsibilities. Could be your parents, of course. That's Saturn in Capricorn is all about honoring your elders, maturity. You know, it can be a good year to get pregnant, although that's not a, people think Saturn is limiting, but also Saturn is the builder. So career. So for Cancers, which is all about working at home or staying at home, you may be forced to be out of your home, or conversely, you could be building a new business in your home. But it can be kind of feeling weighed down, I would say. Yeah. Okay. And then Pluto's there too, of course. And then Jupiter will be there next year. All right. So Cancers, you get the Knight of Discs here. Okay. So the Knights are like mature, masculine energies. This is Virgo energy. So just like the card, I know this is a very old deck of cards. It's like the grass is greener somewhere else. You're looking beyond Cancer. So you have to look ahead again. And because it's earth energy, what am I building? What am I harvesting? Virgo's always the harvest. Do I have to watch my diet? Now, Cancer is ruled by the stomach. So your stomach is always a bit sensitive. This could be your digestion, changing your health habits. And also cleaning up, you know, Virgo, organizing your home, you know, making things more streamlined. Again, decluttering. Maybe decluttering is a big symbol for this year. All right. And work. Yeah, and work. All right. So, Leo, let's see what you got, Leos. Now, with Jupiter in Sagittarius, all Leos, all fire signs get what they call the trine. So that's a nice, again, a nice beneficial aspect. Okay. I mean, it's mainly a lot of earth right now. Oh, wow. Okay. So Leos, you get the wishing card.
Oh, nice.
That's really nice. This is the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is beautiful. It's very spiritual. You really need to use these cards as visualization tools. Right. I mean, it's really kind of the Nine of Cups. I mean, I did this in the sink. I set up actually 9 cups in my sink and ran water through it. And there was the Nine of Cups. So it's like a kitchen sink, kitchen witch ritual here. You put the 9 cups in the sink, you run the water, you do the rituals, you make the wishes. But the whole point is it's not about just what benefits you, Leo, of course, because I know you mainly think about yourself. It's about how I can benefit others, and it's about being generous and magnanimous and philanthropic. And if you're a big leader, you want to get to be that, you know, strong to help others. So this is about, you know, making 9 wishes. So I definitely, on this eclipse, on this big lunar blood moon, wolf moon, January 20th, 21st, because it's at 0 degrees of Leo, I would do this ritual.
Interesting.
Okay. Even though it's water and fire, but I think this is great. So remember your 9 wishes. Okay. You have to keep things flowing and moving. Okay. And if you have planets, again, Leo, you can do that too. Okay. All right. How are we doing for time here, Laura?
You got time. I mean, like 13 minutes, but the video can go over. I just we'll have to adjust the audio.
So much fun, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're on to Virgos. Okay. So Virgos. Okay. You get a major arcana too. Now, this is the card of strength. Now, again, in the tarot, there is this strength can be number 8 or it can be number 11. And I'm not even going to get into why that is. There's just different schools of thought around this. So whatever works for you, let's just see it as strength. It's obviously strength. It's Leo. So Virgos get this Leo passion, drive. In my deck, it's called lust. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably upside down, right? Of course, but it is called lust. So it is about your lust for life. Now, Virgos are usually pretty humble and like to be of service, but maybe this is where you really need to go, hey, what's in it for me, you know? And you've got Neptune, sorry, you've got Neptune opposite for a lot of Virgos, you know, so this is good to do your wishful thinking, and Jupiter is squaring your sign. So actually this is pushing you, you know, to think more positively, to be more fiery, to be a leader. You know, you have a lot of knowledge. We need your organization skills. We need your detail. We need your accountability. We need your ability to use natural herbs and medicines and all that to help you. So use your strength, you know. If you're not working with what's bringing you passion, then change it. You know, I mean, you're workaholics, you're perfectionists.
And so that's for this year. It's
that's
not
for this year.
when their birthday is. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So in general, I would say Virgo, be a Leo.
Be a Leo.
Integrate.
Interesting.
For you, it's your 12th house. So it is there. I mean, everybody's got all of these signs in their chart. Even if you have no planets there, you would look at your chart on, what I'm doing this according to sun signs. So you would use the sun as the first sign. Okay. So for Virgo, Leo is the 12th house. So it's what they're unconscious of. Okay. So get in touch with what your deepest, maybe scariest, most taboo passions are and live them. Dance, enjoy life, get out there, party, have fun. Virgos, have fun this year. Okay. All right.
That's nice.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So Libras. Okay. So a lot of Libras are in that crunch from Saturn and Pluto, of course. Okay. So you've got the 9 of Wands here. Okay, 9 of Wands. Okay. So this is like the Sun in Sagittarius. So for Libras, again, Jupiter is giving you some benefits. It's a fire and air sextile here. So this is Jupiter giving you some benefits there. Travel, higher education, be inspiring. I know you love to socialize and you can be, kind of hard for making up your mind. Sun and Jupiter. Excuse me, Sun in Sagittarius is more spontaneous. Just do it. Don't worry about it too much. Don't worry what other people think. Be honest. Be honest. Now, a lot of people I've noticed on Twitter, this is funny, the younger kids all hate Libras. This is very funny. I have a 20-year-old daughter, so also she tells me about this. I hate Libras. I hate Libras. I'm going, how can you hate Libras? They're the nicest. They try to be the nicest. So this is where
wish-washy, but
well, that's the thing. That's what people don't like. They'll tell you what you want to hear. So they feel they're disingenuine, right? But this is where you have to speak the truth, Libras, okay? Again, favors higher education, travel, expansion, optimism. It's a good positive sign. Okay. All right. Now, Scorpios. Okay, Scorpios. All right. Now, you've been through your Jupiter crossing your sign all last year. So it probably stirred up a lot of stuff. So in a way, this is you get a bit of a break this year. Okay, here's the sign of Scorpio. Okay, so that's very fitting. Okay. So in this deck, so maybe you need to reflect. Maybe you need to just reintegrate, all the tumultuous changes you went through last year. Jupiter's in your second house of wealth, of resources right now. So really integrate the tools that you have.
Is that actually the Libra card?
No, it's Scorpio. It's actually the card that, the minor cards, represent, this is the Prince of Cups. The minor cards also represent personalities, which are
I don't know the top deck, so I'm trying to figure out what you got there.
In whatever deck it is, it's the Prince, and they would call this the Page.
Yeah.
In most decks, yeah. I'm so used to using this deck. But it is Scorpio energy. There's the Phoenix, so he's, the
that symbolism is kind of neat.
Yeah, is rising above all the emotional turmoil. And that's when Scorpios really get to that Phoenix level.
Right.
Okay.
Nice.
Somebody also mentioned, Jupiter and Sag is like the Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's a nice one. And we're going into a pig year. I think in the Chinese calendar, I think we're going into the year of the pig.
That's interesting. I don't even know that. Why do I know that? We just finished the dog, yeah?
Yeah, I believe it's pig. Okay. Yeah, because it's aligned to Jupiter.
Right.
Okay. And my son was born with Jupiter and Sag, so it's follows. So it is, year of the pig. Or year of the boar.
Right.
What else do they call it? Pig year. I think that's wealth. Pigs are really intelligent. Okay.
Oh, that's true too.
So now we're on to Sagittarius here. Okay, so this is the Princess of Wands. And this deck works a little bit differently. The princesses in this deck represent the element of earth. So it's the grounding of fire or spirit. Okay. So again, for Sagittarians, being a triple Sag myself, I know how easy it is to just be in the moment, just get caught up, and it's all the ideas because you think, boom, I just think about it, it happens. But this is where, you really need to ground it. You need to make things happen this year. Okay. So it's about fearlessness. I don't know if you can see the woman, which represents the soul or the anima. She's grabbing that tiger by the tail. So again, this indicates, I think, a lot of judicial, legal stuff, for women, for women's rights, for all of that kind of stuff, right? So don't be afraid of anything. Be fearless, but be careful because, Jupiter can be overconfident. And also, whatever sign Jupiter goes through, it makes you put on weight according to the sign it's in. And Sagittarius rules the hips. So if you find yourself putting on a little bit of weight there on your hips, you can blame Jupiter on that, but you should never really blame the planets. But I find that it does happen. Okay. All right. So Capricorn. All right. So Capricorn. Yes. You're kind of really in the big thick of it right
Yeah.
now. Okay, now
Totally.
this is again another what they call it, a court card, a character card. This is the Prince of Swords. So this is like Aquarius energy. Now,
Really?
the interesting thing about this is traditionally, and a lot of astrologers, a lot of young astrologers going back and studying the Greek texts, which have just been translated after 2,000 years, and going back to very, very traditional esoteric, because they can kind of confound people with these funky names, astrology. So in traditional astrology, they don't use transpersonal planets, which I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
I have to do a bit of both. So Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. Now I know for Aquarians that's like, what? How could Saturn be my ruling planet? But Saturn, traditionally, the planets rule two signs.
Right.
They rule a masculine sign and a feminine sign. So in fact, it was actually way more balanced that way. Right? So Capricorn is a feminine. People forget this, a feminine earth sign. Aquarius is a masculine air sign. So this is where you start to harness, as you can see in the card. You could just see the cards as little kind of cartoons. You need to harness your mind, which is going in all directions at once, if you want to move forward. So Saturn is discipline and it's maturity, and Saturn will teach you that. Saturn's the great teacher. He's Father Time, he's the devil. He's
Saturn's
the master of reality. Yeah, Saturn, Satan.
I didn't know that.
In Indian, they call him Sati, Saturn. It's a Sanskrit word. He is the devil. And in the tarot, he's depicted as the devil. So he's the illusion of the material world. Sell your soul to the devil because you're selling out to your ego. That's what Saturn is. Okay. But Aquarius, you're meant to take us to a higher level of consciousness here. Okay. All right. So move forward. Now, I also want to mention that the nodes of the moon, which create eclipses, are now in Cancer is the north node. So again, we're moving forward with women's rights, children, emotional nurturing, and leaving behind that kind of Capricorn corporate patriarchal energy. Okay. All right. Now, so now we're at Pisces already, right? Okay.
No, Aquarius.
Sorry, we just did Aquarius.
No,
that was oh my God, that was Capricorn. Sorry. Okay.
And you did say that at the beginning, and right at the end, you said something about Aquarius, and went, what?
Oh, because Capricorn. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
That's
okay. So Capricorn, Saturn in your sign. This is the year for you to be mature. For everybody who's having their first Saturn return, this is, Saturn is in his home sign. He's very strong. And we all have to bow down to Saturn. And really, if you want to manifest anything, you have to work with Saturn. Yeah. And he's going to test you, and he's going to limit you, and he's going to throw a bunch of obstacles in front of you and go, how much do you really want this? And if you really want it, and you work real hard and you sweat a lot, then Saturn will reward you. But really, you have to, again, resistance to that is kind of futile, because we still live, excuse me, in the material plane, or at least we're in this duality, right?
Good Trekkie, yeah.
Huh?
Good Trekkie phrase there.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're on to Aquarius. Sorry, Aquarius, I didn't mean to leave you out. Okay.
Well, since I'm Aquarius, I wasn't going to let you.
That's right. Thank you. My trusty sidekick here. All right. Okay, so here. There you go. Get the 10 of discs. So
nice.
10s are the strongest, most manifesting sign, and this is wealth, coins, you can see. So you want to fill your pockets with wealth, with money. You want to feel like $1 million or $1 trillion, or $1 million isn't worth that much these days.
I'd still go
it's still good. We'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, open up, receive the money, make the money, put your self on the line. This is again manifestation. You think you got it, prove it. That's Saturn. You see, Saturn's going, okay, it's talk is cheap.
Yeah.
If it ain't real, it's not real. Okay, so visualize. This is the tree of life here. The cards are lined up with the tree of life. So you would visualize, it's like chakras, right? All of your chakras. I mean, it's not the traditional chakras because there's 10 here, but you would visualize these points on your body as having wealth. And really, I find that those visualizations, Aquarius should be good at that, are really powerful, or get 10 loonies, gold coins, whatever you can afford. Aquarius,
gold coins, that would be nice.
That would be nice. Whatever it is that,
especially at 10.
Yeah. Or, you could use 10 crystals if you want.
Okay.
Maybe. Crystals, although, money, something that, or, draw it out. Okay. There's a ritual. You do a ritual, you draw it out again on that eclipse, that blood moon eclipse, Leo Aquarius, right, as well. All right. So now last, finally, Pisces.
There we
Okay.
go.
Are we still got time here?
Well, we got a couple minutes.
Okay, good. All right. Pisces. All right. All right. Pisces. Oh, Pisces gets the devil. Speak of the devil. There you go. All right. So that Jupiter and Neptune square for everybody in Pisces this year is more about what's real and what isn't. So all the fake news stuff, you know, it's already in the news. It's going to really build up and the truth will come out and it will be shocking. So, you know, I can't say much more than that, except that, you know, we are in a hangman year. So whatever you think is happening, it may be totally the opposite. So, you know, the devil playing games with us, you know, don't sell your soul to the devil, Pisces. Don't get caught in your addictions.
Right.
You know, what's real? Don't get seduced there. You know, the devil is actually, you have to laugh at the devil. You know, because the devil isn't really real. The devil is fear. So Pisces, don't buy into the fear. I know you're the big psychic sponges right now, you know, picking up everybody's energy with Chiron there. Don't take it in. You know what I mean? Don't do what isn't yours. Don't be the martyr. Okay. But this is also the symbol of building and the father. And so you're going to be building a new foundation here. I think this is good. Jupiter gives you the opportunity to do that. So, all right.
All right.
There we go.
So there is the year 2019 with Tara Greene. All right. If anybody wants more information about Tara, go to her website, taragreene.com.
Tara.
Oh, that's right.
TARATAROT.com.
All right.
All right.
You've been listening to News of the Heart. We've been getting to the heart of what matters with Tara Greene and 2019. All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Have a question for Laurie and want to be on the next News from the Heart show? Drop us a line via instant feedback at bmajor.org. News from the Heart is brought to you by Intuitive Soul and is produced by Major Radio for Clear Channel's iHeartRadio and bmajor.org.